We are trying to get as many pointers coming in from the court. The hearing is underway. It's almost been 1 hour. Reporters this time are not being permitted inside the court chambers, and therefore the arguments on the maintainability in the court is still on. Samarth continues to be with me from Varanasi as well. Samarth, is there a Shivling too? What about the Shivling-like structure in the Wazoo Khana? This is what the Hindu side is claiming. They have been pushing and asking the court that this is the moment that the court needs to find the plea and the petition maintainable and go ahead with the proceedings. What are the lawyers? What has Vishnu Jain told you? What are the lawyers telling you here in this matter? How are they going to ensure to push and argue for the court to continue to take this matter up?
See, as per the Vishnu Jain and the other Hindu advocates, they are very clear and evident at saying that there is a proper Shivling. And even the first petitioner in the case, Swan Lalare, when he spoke to Indian TV, he said that Baba Mil Gyan. It's a clear hint that there is a Shivling as per the Hindu side. But what I'm getting that inside the court, right now, Muslim side is claiming that rumors were spread on social media regarding that particular Shivling that has somewhere and somehow incited the sentiments of Hindu community. This is what being said by the Muslim community inside the premises of the court where hearing is currently on. So it's a big update coming in, but what we are getting to know that this is a thing which has become a major thing of controversy, because Hindu side, when took the protection of the Shivling, it became a furor for the Muslim community. They had no idea like what to do next, and then they also objected that particular thing and said that yes, it's a fountain. And when the report of Special Advocate Commissioner Vishal Singh came into light, it was written that both sides have different versions regarding that particular thing found in between that Wazoo area. So that is why this is very important, and whenever hearing begins, the prime focus is around that particular Shivling or fountain, and this is what happening currently inside the premises where obviously media is not allowed. But what we are getting that these are the discussions being happening inside, where Muslim side is claiming that there are rumors regarding the Shivling spread on social media. They are trying, these rumors are trying in a way affecting the sentiments of Hindu community, because Shivling is a sacred thing for, it's a symbol of Lord Shiva for Hindu community, and finding it in between the mosque can obviously invoke the sentiments of the Hindu community. This is being said by the Muslim advocates inside, while the Hindu advocates are claiming that it is very crystal and clear. It has been seen in the videography as well that it's a proper Shivling which is being tried to be distorted with some white material over that which could be given a shape of a fountain, which obviously
stay on
is
with me,
not
Samarth, because it's very interesting what you're telling us. And Anisha Mathur is also now joining us, so is Nalini. Nalini, before I go across to Anisha, just a quick update I wanted to know. Is there a specific reason that reporters today have not been permitted in the court? Because till now they were permitted, it's been a usual practice. Any reason for that? Quickly.
Well, Pooja, yes. In all cases, they are usually permitted. But since the case has been transferred to the district court, without any official orders being passed to this effect, the district judge has barred the media from participating in these proceedings. Now, there are certain category of cases where such things do happen. They're called in-camera proceedings. Suppose there are sexual offences cases or cases regarding national security, then usually the media is not allowed to attend these proceedings. But keeping in mind that this is a civil suit, at the essence of it, the fact that the media has been barred from attending these proceedings is a little bizarre right now. But there is a letter that is being placed before the judge on behalf of the local reporters to allow them access. We'll have to wait and see exactly how the judge proceeds with that, whether or not this access will be allowed now that an official request has been put in place. And even if that request is denied, the judge will most likely have to put reasons in writing as to why that request was denied and why media was not allowed to attend these proceedings.
All right, so our best legal reporters are ensuring, nevertheless, we get you all the latest updates coming in from Varanasi court. And on the ground in Benares, Samarth continues to give us the ground updates as well. Anisha, what are you picking up about the proceedings in the court? It's been 1 hour. Today is primarily whether the petition by the Hindu side is even maintainable or not, is what the court will examine. What are you picking up from inside the court?
Well, Pooja, so far we're getting only hints and sort of the very short updates on what has been going on inside, because as Nalini and Samad both pointed out, reporters are not allowed inside. In fact, just a few minutes ago, even the reporters who were outside the court in the corridor, they were also asked to move back because there was the judge feels that this is creating a lot of media interest and a lot, and as Nalini just pointed out, there is an application filed by reporters to be allowed to go in. At the moment, what we do know is that the Hindu side has been arguing that this petition is not only maintainable, but they're also saying that the fact that there was a Shivling that was found means that there is a validity to the claim of the Hindu side, and therefore they are saying that their application for the protection of that Shivling and the protection of all the other religious symbols, idols, etc. should be heard first. On the other side, of course, the Muslim side has argued that from the Masjid committee, they have said that the existence of a Shivling or the finding of a Shivling is a rumor that was created by the Hindu petitioners, so to sort of create a public debate, to sort of create a public outcry, and that is why they're saying that the maintainability issue must be considered in detail by the court, because according to them, the maintainability issue is the most important, that the Hindu side petitioners' pleas are not maintainable. The Muslim side is arguing that they should be heard first. Now, we are going to get very, very slow updates, which is something that, as Nalini was discussing, this is something that is very rare that happens, that a court bars reporters from entering and bars persons from sort of discussing what is happening inside.
Anisha, it's very interesting what you're telling us, and we are constantly trying to bring forth all that is being mentioned in the court. Do tell us now also what happens next. In the sense, because you've also been tracking the Qutub Minar case that is being pursued legally. There are demands from across the country to approach court, to dig up mosques if required, if there are shivlings underneath, and do surveys and iconography of these areas. How is this going to be today if the petition is taken up as maintainable or not? Could set a precedence for other demands that are cropping up, the clamour of monument and temple vapsi from across India.
Well, yes, Pooja, if you see in the last few months, we've seen a lot of such clamour coming up. There was a hearing in Mathura just this morning, and yesterday there was a hearing in the Qutub Minar case on the 24th. There are other cases that have been filed regarding the Taj Mahal, regarding the Bhojshala in Bhopal. So these are the 5 main issues: Mathura, Kashi, Delhi, Bhojshala and Taj Mahal are the 5 cases that are currently at various stages in various courts. And in all of these, the Hindu petitioners have been clamoring not only for, they have been clamoring for reclamation of the temples that they believe were demolished by Muslim invaders, and that they believe were used to reconstruct these monuments and mosques. Now, we've just been speaking to the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust, the secretary of the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust, Mr. Kapil Sharma, and he has said that this is something that Hindus across India, and have been working for the last several decades, that in the 1980s there was in fact a Virat Hindu Parishad in Mathura which had decided that there must be a concerted effort to at least reclaim Ayodhya, Kashi and Mathura, and even the other major temples in the country which had been demolished or taken over by invasions in the medieval period. Now, in the Mathura case, of course, we have a very clear issue that is going on, where the Krishna Janmabhoomi Trust has been given ownership of the land, and and petitioners are now saying that yes, there is a temple in around 10.5 acres of that disputed land, but the remaining 3.5 acres where the masjid still exists should also be reclaimed, that the masjid should be removed. In Delhi, the Qutub Minar issue also, the question is of how far can you go and how much can you call for a reclamation, because in the Qutub Minar case, the allegation is it is an archaeological fact that the remains of Hindu and Jain temples were used to construct some parts of the Quwwatul Islam Mosque and some parts of the premises of what is now a protected heritage site, which is the Qutub Minar premises. And the Archaeological Survey of India has been very clear that it is a protected site. Whatever happened 800 years ago cannot today be reclaimed. Whatever happened 800 years ago should be allowed to exist as a monument to India's shared history. Thirdly, if you look at the Bhojshala case, the case is still pending. There has been no movement in the case. The Taj Mahal case, of course, the Allahabad High Court had thrown out that case, saying you cannot ask for a survey